Hi, it is iYikkam time again. So there are some breathing discussions in the Wing Chun forum, and today I'd like to share with you on breathing. First, number one, there are people out there who is ignorance on the 613.3 and thinking breathing is 613.3. Well, as we all know, 613.3 is the common denominator of the ancient internal training. It is not my invention, but it is what the common denominator educations or practice platform of the internal art. Okay? So let's get this straight. Breathing is just one part of 613.3. Breathing is not the full 613.3. 613.3 cover breathing, but breathing do not cover 613.3. Okay, just get that straight because it's important. If we want to be scientific, we better get things in details. Otherwise, it is fuzzy and it never be scientific. Now, let's look at breathing techniques. Is there a superior, superb, ultimate breathing techniques? The answer is no. We can go back, trace back to 2,500 years ago, around that time, even when Buddha is alive. There is no such thing as one is superior, and we found out today, somehow that this is scientific, where other people do not know. Let's check the track records. Okay, there are millions of people practice breathing, if it's not billions, for the past 2,500 years. There are fully records in Buddhist sutra scriptures and the Taoist scriptures and the Chinese martial arts or Chinese medicine's history track records. Just look at it, okay? So let's not thinking that we are smarter than those people there. Okay? In the old time, the Buddhists talk about cause and effect and conditions. That's no different than today's scientific. They know the cause, the effect, and the conditions or the situations. That's why they know the process, they can repeat it. That's no different than today's scientific. Okay? So, for example, let's take the Anapanasati, the teaching of Buddha, the breathing techniques into the to get one into the samadhi. Okay, Anapanasati. In China, with track records, we know thousands of years ago, not everybody can practice Anapanasati directly. And while practicing Anapanasati, often one need to practice other breathing techniques due to the body conditions, and everybody's different. Thus, a very important breathing techniques come into picture, and there's the 6 healing sounds breathing techniques. You know, actually the 6 healing sound is actually a wrong interpretations to the West. It should say, or it should call the 6-word process instead of 6 healing sound, because it's not about sound, it's about breathing. Okay? The Chinese call 6 healing sound is qi jue, meaning that it is breathing process. It is not shen jue or yin jue or sound techniques or sound process. Because the sound process is like the mantra. Like for example, the Buddhas using the mantra Om that is creating the resonance in the body for open up the chakra. Okay, and this is different with the six healing sound, where they use different words with the breathing to regulate different part of the organs, or different organs, or different internal organs. So, you see, even the Buddha's teachings Anapanasati, they need the six healing sounds as a support. And also, when people practice different type of breathing, the body might not ready for it yet, or sometime due to some sickness or anything or something, the body, the energy of the body needs external aids or helps to help the circulations. So one need to switch. So the breathing practice is very likely, it is not, oh yeah, now this technique, go use it, or this is something in breathing that it is ultimate. There's no such thing as that. Breathing is no different than medications. One keep adjust the medications because samadhi is what one want to get in, not just take the drugs or medications and get high. Okay, now one is leading today, which is most people be in the West or the East getting into, and this is a serious trouble, is about boasting on the heat sensations of the body. Oh, I can have heat in my body, so that's qi. I can sustain the cold with this heat, that's qi. Okay, I have kung fu, I have the power. That is a misleading. Why is misleading? Because one got to know what is that heat is about. Well, let me give you an example. The guy who have diabetic, if they practice a wrong type of breathing, their body get warm up. You know what is that? Their blood glucose shoot up. You continue to do that, you get ketone, you get those ketone problem. It is life-threatening, okay? So, is that one fit all? Heat is good. That's why I say, if you get the ketosis problem in diabetic, the guy can get into coma and die, okay? Sure, you can say, oh, because he achieved enlightenment for that. And if you look at it scientifically, that is what happens. So to prescribe anybody to say, oh yeah, you just practice this or that, this is my technique, this is superior, this is scientific, forget about it. It is just a tools, breathing. And that one need many, many tools. There's no such thing as one single tools. So this leads to one thing. How can you know which tool is supposed to use? Well, then you need to know your body. Is your body healthy? Your body in a decent, good health? Or your body is yang deficient or yin deficient, using the Chinese medicine's terminology. Or if I can give you an analogy. What is yang deficient and yin deficient? Say we have an oil lamp, okay? If the light of the oil lamp is is dim due to the filament is short, and we prolong the filament, so that the light is come back to very bright. That is called yang deficiency, where you just pull the filament, you can make the oil lamp brighter. Okay, now, so what is yin deficiency? Yin deficiency is when the oil of the oil lamp is almost run out. So there is less, the oil go up to the filament area. That is called yin deficiency. So one need to know when practice breathing techniques or qigong, what type of the body type is. Even though everybody say practice Wing Chun, still one need to know individual. There is no such thing as one size fit all. Okay? Now, this is the issue. The filament or the yang deficiency and the yin deficiency is different, and the yin deficiency is meaning the say the body's hormones or the body's what do you call it, the liquid, the body's blood or some chemistry is imbalanced or inadequate, or the body fluid, the body fluid, certain body fluid is not adequate. That's yin deficiency, and usually it happens with kidneys, and then kidneys got to do with your heart, and then people get into hypertension. So people who have hypertension, high blood pressure, diabetic, kidney issue, in general, they are into the yin deficiency area. If you get this group of people to practice what? Practice the fire breathing. That is like what? That is like to pull the filament of the oil lamp, which is the oil almost dry. You're going to cause that problem. Thus, you're going to cause the ketosis, those kind of things for the diabetic type 1 or even diabetic type 2. You want to play with that? Yeah, you know, I can have this warm up my body, go into the snow or the cold, and I can sustain heat. That is very inconsiderate of the physical limit, and do not understand what is going on inside there. Is that scientific? It's not scientific at all. That is superstitious. Okay? So in ancient time, the guy who have hypertension or diabetic or the heart issue, kidney issue, with related to the yin deficiency or the body fluid and so forth, in today's language, they are not going to let this type of student practice those breath of fire, warm up body stuff. They are going to put them directly enter into the silence. Okay? And the healthy people, they can practice the breath of fire. Okay? So that's the arrangement. The teacher, the sifu, has to know very clearly what's happened. And actually, we can actually carry this out in the lab today. Okay? So that is scientific. When we know what is the cause, what is the effect, and what is the conditions, the environment, what is the physical limit. There's no such thing as saying, oh yeah, because I think, I believe I can do everything I want. You can. The physical body is a big limitation there. There's a boundary there. Okay? And so I like to share with you this, because this is something can be really dangerous. Okay? Now, even those people who be able to practice the breathing, which is give rays of heat in the body, like usually people heat up their dantian, lower abs dantian. That's usual, right? One need to know how to control that heat and how warm is warm. Usually, if the warm is as warm as when you drink wine, that's too warm already. The warmness has to be like what? Like when we are in the bed in the under the cover in the winter, you feel very comfortable, that warm. It's almost there. Okay? So, how to control this heat? Two things you control. One, you put more intention inside that, heavier intention. Another thing is, you actually breathe harder, then your body heat up. Okay? So that's how you control it. So the Taoists call this as control of the stove. Stove, okay? Like you're cooking something. So the breathing is called wind. Intention is called the fire. If you increase the intention, you increase the fire. You increase the wind, or you pump more wind inside that, you increase the fire intensity also. That's whole kind of control. Okay? Now on the other side, remember we talked about the yin deficiency people. We get away, right away we get into the silence, and like the body attain into a state of like the body is not exist, so light. Okay? That is also can be handled with intentions and attention or focus and thinking. So the process is one have to let go the thinking, and then one let go the intention or attention. Then one get into the state of the silence. Okay? And then the breathing of the body and so forth, it regulates itself. And then the qi flow. Okay? So this is all technology. It has process inside there. Those who know how to do this, how to handle this, really seriously know what to do. Because they practice this every day. Okay? Every instance. They're aware of their body. So this is all about breathing. Now look at Wing Chun, 1840, the Su Lin Tao kid from iYikkam. The fifth stanza, the fifth writing is saying, unite or union in the dantian. Okay? Union in the dantian, meaning the breathing is going low, sinking low, lower ab breathing. Okay, get the lower abs breathing, and then union the pre-birth qi and the post-birth qi, which is the breathing, the union, and then they warm up. Okay, fifth stanza. Is that true that everybody practice that way? No. The Sifu has to know, is this student having a diabetic, having a high blood pressure, or he is healthy? If he is healthy, the teaching will be, okay, you can pay attention to your dantian, do deep deep breathing into the dantian, and then you get heat and so forth. If we have a high blood pressure and so forth, then it's a different stuff. So how is it? It let go the whole body and let the circulation circle itself. That also means union in dantian, using this as the sample of the sphere. Okay. So there's two methods. Depend on if the sifu or the teacher know what is going on and know exactly what is the student's need, and make a scientific coaching or training. Okay. So I do not fall in love with any breathing techniques or say who is good, who is bad. What I am doing here or sharing here is about educations. Do not get into ignorance and call one's body problem. Today, a lot of people like to manipulate their body. Say, okay, I'm going to train this 1 hour per week, or I'm going to train this 2 hours per week. Okay, so I only train this in Saturday and Sunday. Well, the real breathing stuff is one train every day. And one know exactly what's going on. And not just go to have a party saying if I just going to hyperventilism, get a lot of oxygen and say, see, I'm so strong. I can walk in the snow. Okay? Well, when you do this heavy chest breathing, like we can see in the YouTube, the chi flow is going to pump up to the top of the head, and guess what? If the 3 yang meridian chi of the on the head cannot flow down to the feet, then you're looking for stroke, severe hypertension and stroke. Okay. So this is about breathing. Be careful. Okay. And I agree with everybody. It needs to be scientific, but we need to tell the full story, not some part of the story. Even it is very important for one to really have the education in this. One cannot just go claim, or just get a few scientists do a body test for certain people and then, or himself, and then, or claim that this is the ultimate. Or you don't have to take medicines, you don't have to do anything, you just do this breathing and everything's solved. You cannot do that. Okay? It is regarded in the West, in the East. You can see in China, there's a lot of people preaching that, if you get to this small cosmic circle where you heat up your dantian, you just have a circle to your ren, du meridian and ren meridian, all this crazy stuff which is proven to cause stroke because it's violating the flow of the chi meridians. Okay? So what I'm saying is apply to the East and West. I do not particularly focus on anybody, but I focus one thing. We better get educated. If we want scientific, we get educated. If we do scientific, we better know what is going on. Otherwise, the guy who suffers is the guy who think and believe and practice without having the knowledge. So this is about breathing. And finally, I'd like to share with you one more thing about 613.3. 613.3 in the mind element, one deal with mind. Today's people love to talk about mindfulness. So what is mindfulness? You ask 10 people don't understand what is it. Okay? Mindfulness, is it exist? What is that the component? Well, in the mind we know there's 4 functions. The thinking, the intention, the visualizations, and you drop everything and then you have an awareness. Okay, there is not even enlightenment of the Buddha or Satori yet. There's just awareness. Okay, and then there is coming the settle of the state of the mind, the settle of the mind. Okay, how stable the mind. Meaning that is the mind settled, or is the intention settled? Is the visualization be able to settle, or the awareness be able to settle? Will it be able to go up a state for quiet, and go up the state for the peaceful state where nothing disturbs, even the nuclear bomb blow beside one do not get disturbed? That's the peaceful state. If one not even aware of the settle or the stability of the mind, and keep talking about this mindfulness, that is called daydreaming. In fact, if you look at the Buddhist training, the first thing they need to train is the settle. In Chinese called ting. Until one settle, one is not going to get wisdom. Wisdom is just one can see clearly after one's mind element is settled. Okay? So, I'm sharing this with you today. Hope that you be able to see what is the facts behind this breathing stuff.